What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about the new DC film, The Suicide Squad, the requel to the 2016 Ayer film. This time around, we have writer and director James Gunn at the helm, where he brings back some of our favorite characters from the previous film, such as Captain Boomerang, Rick Flagg, Amanda Waller, and Harley Quinn. They're joined by new members Bloodsport's Cat Ratcher 2, Polka Dot Man, King Shark, Peacemaker, Savant, Blackguard, Margot, Thinker, Javelin, and Weasel to take down an operation only known as Project Starfish. I was really excited about this film. I had some issues with the 2016 film. Sometimes it just felt like a 2-hour music video that didn't flow very well. With this one, we have James Gunn coming in to take over the helm. He really does bring the R rating that we hope the 2016 one would bring, and it does give us a little bit more of a better film overall. This is a better film than the 2016 one. I had some fun with the 2016 one. We had a couple of good moments with between Harley Quinn and Deadshot, and Captain Boomerang was one of my favorite standout. I did also see the director's cut when it was released on DVD. I went out and rented it to see how much of an improvement it was, and I think the director's cut was an improvement over the theatrical one, because there was some things that they took out that I actually appreciated a little bit more. And over the years, I've been watching Suicide Squad here and there, seeing if my opinion on the film changed. It hasn't changed a lot, but there are some things that I have appreciated over the years since my first initial watch, and it's not the train wreck everybody thinks it is, but it is a really long 2-hour music video. But with this one, it's really much more of a contained story. They give us a little bit more of the characters in this film. There are some characters that are just there to be killed off, but we also have the characters that we see in the trailers overall that I really did enjoy. Some of the characters that impressed me a lot in the film were probably King Shark, definitely, Ratcatcher 2, Polka Dot Man, and Bloodsports, mainly because I'm not a big comic book guy. I don't know any of these characters. I don't know their backstories. I wish we could have gotten a little bit more of the backstories on some of the characters in the film. We got also have Peacemaker, who really did stand out a lot in this film because he really does have some really funny lines, and this was an improvement over what John Cena did in F9, which I really didn't enjoy, but I think he was great in this film, and it really did give us a little bit more of what we can expect from him, from his dramatic chops to his humor, which we already had seen in like small little roles in Trainwreck and Sisters. I enjoyed him a lot more in Bumblebee and Blockers more than most people did. I think a lot of people enjoyed him in Bumblebee, but I really enjoyed him in Blockers, and I think he was able to carry the film to a certain degree, but was surrounded by somebody that was in the previous Suicide Squad film, Ike Barinholtz. I think they worked off together well in Blockers, and in this one we got to see a little bit more of what we can expect from John Cena in the Peacemaker series, which I'm really excited to see. But even then, we got more of a improvement over the character of Rick Flagg, because in the 2016 one, even though I did enjoy him a lot more than a lot of people did, he was just there to give some exposition, and his character sometimes didn't work for me very well. Other times he did. I didn't buy the relationship between him and Enchantress, but I do enjoy what we got from him in this film. It gave us a little bit more of his sense of humor in the film. Amanda Waller is still the biggest bitch in the planet. Some more of Harley Quinn, however, we really don't get a lot of Harley Quinn, which really disappointed me, because I really like Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I like Birds of Prey a lot more than some people do. I thought that movie was fun, and I like what she did in that film. But in this one, it felt like she was taking a seat back. But it feels like some of the members that we saw in the previous Suicide Squad film do take a back seat, like Amanda Waller, Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang. Rick Flagg is really the only one from the previous film that is up front and center and gets the big improvement from what we saw in the last film. Amanda Waller is just there in the first act, and then she's back in the last act, which really disappointed me. Harley Quinn has a little subplot in the middle of the film, which really didn't flow very well with me. I thought it dragged on a little bit too long, but I like what we got in that little subplot between Harley Quinn and somebody else. We also don't get a lot of the. We definitely do get a lot of the violence, the humor, the dark tone. This is more of a dark comedy than what the last film was. And when they say don't get attached, somebody foolish did get attached to some of the characters that did eventually, unfortunately, pass away. The way that they killed off the characters is really different and unique, but there are some characters I wish we could have gotten a little bit more of. The issue that I had with the first film, I like the fact that when the film starts, you really get into the action, you really get into the characters, you see all of our characters that are going on this little mission, and it felt like they were just there to get picked off, which really disappointed me, because as somebody who's not invested in the comics, I wish I could have gotten a little bit more of more of who about the characters, their motivations, why they were arrested. We only get a little bit of backstory with like Bloodsport killing Superman with a kryptonite bullet, Ratcatcher 2 with her connection and her father and why she's known as Ratcatcher 2. Polka Dot Man, we get to see the psyche into what makes him a villain. King Shark, with just a little bit of glimmer, we get to see a lot. Peacemaker, I don't think we got a lot of him in the film. I wish we could have gotten a little bit more backstory. Not like the way that they did it in the 2016 one, where they just basically montaged this really long 20-minute music video describing everybody and everything. Just a little bit here and there. But I wish we could have gotten a little bit more about how these characters ended up where they are. I do think that the post-credit scenes are really funny, and I think those were some of the highlights of the film. But overall, I do think that this is an improvement over the last film. Not by much to me, because it's about 10 minutes longer than the last film. It really drags down in the middle section with Harley Quinn and her little subplot. That's where the film drags a lot, and some of that could have been trimmed or cut out or done a little bit differently. There were some characters I wish we could have gotten more of, but I think the first act and the last act sing like a song. That's where the action happens, and this is basically James Gunn at his best, doing what he loves. It's more of his comfort zone. He knows exactly where to go and what to do with an ensemble like this. I just wish we could have gotten a little bit more of the characters from that we get to know in the beginning, and I wish we could have known a little bit more of the little backstory. But overall, I had a lot of fun with this movie. It is an improvement over the last film, but not by much. So overall, I'm going to go ahead and give The Suicide Squad a 7 out of 10. What do you guys think about The Suicide Squad? Half of you probably enjoyed this more than the last one. What were your favorite parts without spoiling it? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments what you think of it. What's your favorite DC film? What's your least favorite DC film? My favorite so far is probably going to be Shazam, and my least favorite probably will be Batman v Superman. I've only seen the director's cut because that's the only copy that I'm able to find online. I might have to go out and search to see if I'm able to find the theatrical one. I'm not sure if there's a lot of physical media with the theatrical cut because I'm only able to find the director's cut. So far, Shazam is my favorite, and my least favorite is Batman v Superman. Go ahead and let me know what your favorite and least favorite DC film is. And until next time, this is Josie Reviews.